particular service that I didn't know I needed was dealing with my credit. And I felt that my credit was good enough. Didn't need anything, and I told myself, you all go ahead, I'll support you. You know? At that time, while I was still employed with the Georgia Department of Driver Services, I had a truck. And the type of truck I had was a 350 GMAC Hemi. I like to ride high, and I like to ride strong. So I love to hear the truck, you know. But it had been giving me some problems from time to time. And the position that I had with driver services, I was a manager. So there was times I might have to open or close. So it was inevitable that I have transportation to get to and from work. Well, I'm in the midst of traffic. And anybody know, I don't care where you are in Georgia. When you flowing, everybody happy. But when your truck or your vehicle stop, everybody look at you kind of like, what's wrong with you? And my truck died. So I had no choice but to go to the dealership and purchase a new vehicle. I took my son-in-law with me, but I knew that my interest rate should be at 3%. Well, when we got through with the papers, 6.9. I said, oh my God. But it was okay because I still had to get the vehicle, nonetheless. But as soon as we did that, I got with my family and I told myself, I'm partnering up. Not only did I take on the services, but I also felt a need to share what I had learned. I thought I knew everything. I didn't know nothing. Matter of fact, I knew I didn't know anything about credit score. I don't even know how it got developed. I didn't know that it would affect my employment. I didn't know it would affect my insurance. I did not know that it would affect me personally. But once I got with the services, the name of the company is United Wealth Education. We usually say ooh wee, and believe me, it is a ooh wee. Once I found out how to handle my credit, how it works, and what I needed to do. And that's one thing, it doesn't leave you out of the process. So I'm going to share some information. And at that time, my credit score was 690. You would think that should be great. Apparently not, because it came in with the interest rate of 6.9.
They were just trying to match numbers, you know.
I think it was my height. What
You got a higher rate, man.
Yeah. My husband used to call me 5'9". I went to the doctor and they took off an inch. I said, really? Really? One thing I was interested in, I needed to know results. And we are people that like to see and touch. I had to see results. And as you can see here, this is one of the results that is before you. I do remember my husband and I filed a bankruptcy, and they told us it would take 7 to 10 years for that bankruptcy to come off. As you can see, it can be deleted. You can see the chapter 13 and chapter 7, it can be deleted. Even small things that we might consider small, Verizon Wireless, it could be deleted too. We also had what we call the credit score, and this person here, their credit score increased by 44 points. And it also lets them know how it can increase even more so by 95 points through the score builder. And then with the score master, 149 points. Here's another. This person's credit score started at 508 and is letting them know that their credit score is going to increase by 90 points. Now it can increase by 164 points as long as they make more payments on the credit card. That's another thing I found out. You know, usually they tell you, oh, and it sounds good, it looks good too, and it looks like, oh yeah, I can save some money because I only have to pay for $24 a month on this credit card. But if you really look at their estimated time for you to really pay off, depending on how much you owe on that credit card, it's gonna take you about a couple years.
Yeah.
So it tells you to make more payments than what they're actually telling you. But if you spend more, you can also decrease it by 4 points. As I already told you, the name of the company is United Wealth Education. It was founded in 2004. Its headquarters is in Farmington Hills, Michigan. This company has a unique collection of services carefully selected to provide financial protection and opportunity. This company is about you becoming not only financially literate, but also sound in your finances. And this company cannot expect you to be debt-free if it isn't. It is debt-free. Can't tell somebody, you can't preach something you're not doing. And this company still has the same key executives from the time it was started. This is my result. At the end, and this was effective January 23rd, 2022. Now my credit score is 785. I'm 15 more points from the blue score. That's what we call it, blue score, from 850. You have an 850 or more, you can walk in and say, no, you don't have to check my credit. I know where it is. This is what I want, and I don't want to pay no interest. You can go in there and demand. That's what it do. It gives you your power back. We were not taught financial literacy in school. This is by Robert Kiyosaki. Okay, thank you. It takes a lot of time to change your thinking and to become financially literate, and that is true. Your mindset has to change, because when you have that attitude of where you are, that's why you'll continue in that same cycle. There's 5 shocking facts you didn't know about your finances. 5. The first one is 1.57 trillion. I didn't know that was a word. Americans are drowning in a total of credit card debt as of March 2019. I'm quite sure that figure done went up.
Yeah.
That's why that man's hand is up down in the water. That's what, you don't see his body, you just see his hand. Get me up out of here.
Yeah.
Second, 56% of people in the U.S. have no rainy day funds. And one of the main ones is medical. Medical can wipe you out. It can literally wipe you out with medical. I don't know if anybody ever been in the hospital and got that bill talking about $15,000 to $20,000. We didn't even say anything about the doctors and the anesthesians. 46% of baby boomers have less than $10,000 saved for retirement. That's why we see a lot of our seniors. It makes me sad that they are there greeting. I mean, I'm glad that they're greeting, but they doing it because they're trying to make ends meet. I remember my grandmother deciding on a small package of ground meat versus her medication that she needed. But she had a good network. We made sure she got that, but a lot don't have that type of network. 40% of millennials have spent money they didn't have to keep up, that they didn't have to keep up with their friends, and they were silent about it. A lot of our youth are racking up credit cards, buying, what's the brands? Brand shoes and Jordans, everything. Nike from hat to the shoe, and no, and cannot afford to pay the bill. And this is what we want to prevent. 43 million Americans have a credit score of 599 or less. And it's really sad because it prevents them on a lot of opportunities. And you can see what can happen when you have good credit makes it easier to get that dream home that you so much want, or that new car that you might need, like me. How is your credit score calculated? This is how it's calculated. They calculate by 35% by your payment history. Remember, we just talked about that. Be on time with your payments. Don't have any delinquencies on it, because it will take your credit score down. 30% is capacity and amount owed, the percentage of credit limits on that card. 15% length of credit. How long have you had those accounts? You don't want to get them where they're back to back, because they don't have any longevity. They're looking at that longevity. How long? Because that tells them something about how you operate, how you handle your expenses. New credit inquiries, 10%. You don't want too many inquiries. Watch the inquiries. Types of credit. You want to have at least 4. Like your mortgage, school loans, revolving, regular credit card. And then we have something what we call credit my rent. Lord, I wish they had this when we were renting. We rented for 8 years and could not get credit for it. However, it is looked at to make sure you made your payments on time, but you didn't get any credit for it. Now you can. And it's through Equifax and TransUnion, up to 2 years. I am grateful that my daughter and her husband were able to get their home, and they were able to take advantage of this, and their credit score was increased by 78 points. Now, this is Steve Harvey. All right, with Steve Harvey, so he had one of our partners, Ashton Henry, on his show. He had him on there once before, but this time he had him on again. And there's a young man, Steve Harvey had a show where, he does different things with a dating. And a young lady asked this young man a question, what would he do differently? And he responded that he would want to improve his credit score. And Steve Harvey politely got up out of his seat, went over to the young man, put his arms around him, and walked him off the stage. The reason is because he felt that the young lady would not pick him as a choice for a date. But he brought that young man back on to his show, and he had also introduced him to Ashton Henry. Ashton Henry worked with this young man, and the young man's credit score at the time was 508. After Ashton Henry worked with him, his credit score increased by 200 points. Matter of fact, his credit score went to 770. And the young man was elated because he was ready to go ahead and purchase him a home and some other things he was interested in doing. I'm just going hard. United Credit Education Services is committed to helping individuals and families to do what? To build, organize, and protect their financial future. These are some of the services that will help build your financial future. Now, there's 3 of them out of all these services that I did really like. And the first one definitely is credit restoration, because they didn't know anything about what it was. And credit restoration educated me on how the credit bureaus respond. I also found out credit bureaus are private entities, but I thought that they were federal because the word bureau. That shows you that I did not know much of anything. And yes, they can, your credit report can remove inaccurate, obsolete, and negative items. They can be removed. The other services, and now these are the services that will organize your financial future. I like the debt payoff. It's a tool where you have to enter all your expenses, your interest rates, the balance of that credit card or that loan. You have to put all the information. This is where you get involved. So you got to be honest with yourself. And when you put it in, it calculates how long of a period of time it would take to pay off those expenses. But it also shows you how you can expedite in a lesser time. When I did mine, it was showing almost 30 years. When it showed me the other way, we were looking at 7 years. Which one would you choose? And then the other that I liked was the will and trust. Will and trust. A lot of people think that will and trust, you got to be on your deathbed. That is so wrong. Will and trust, you can, when you turn 18, you need to start doing your will and trust. Get it together. Yes, it's going to change. That's okay. But at least you got it in writing. If anything should happen. And what I love with this company, once you have it notarized, they send you a binder, and it's legal. We don't leave our clients to figure it out. We provide them with a protection plan roadmap, so they will know from 1 month to the next what they need to be in place, what they need to be doing. And it spells it out. Another thing I like about it, I am not hooked up to my computer. I can have it simply in my hand. You can just go to Apple Store or Google Play and download it. And you are alerted when something's going on with your credit score or someone is inquiring. You have it in the palm of your hand and you can see it. Now, let's get to the bottom line. What's the cost? I thought it would be like $2,000 or more with all those services. And I have my own portal. I thought it was gonna be $2,000. I was wrong again. $188 one-time setup fee. Going forward, $89 a month. We also tell you that it takes time for credit to be resolved. It took a lot of time for it to get there, so it's going to take some little time for it to be resolved. And when you continue, like for the 4th month, the company even takes $20 off. And if you you see a need to stay on even longer, they take another 20. So what you gonna do with that 20? Now you've been being educated, you're gonna put that 20 on something that is to pay off another bill or to invest. So what you gonna do? Take control of your financial future today. Don't wait. Share this information. It's not to be a hidden thing. That's another thing I found out about this. It's not for me to keep it for myself. Yes, I needed it, but so do other people. We have found out so many people need this services. Now, we do have a business opportunity. If that's something you're interested in, we'd be glad to talk with you later on at the end and share that information with you. We are also having our network event February 5th. And you're more than welcome to come. It's going to be in Loganville, Georgia. That will be on a Saturday, February 5th. Also, I will be doing a networking event on February 18th. That's a Friday at 7 p.m. We are always doing networking to help others to get financially literate. That's my time. And if Carmela have anything that she wants to share with?
I'm super proud of her. Let me tell the real story, because she got an attitude with us when we tried to talk to her. Because I said, listen, because we paid for so many funerals, and I told my husband, he was just, he said, look, I'm not paying for another funeral. I want to empower my family, and we both were on the same sheet of music. We wanted to create financial legacies for our family, for including our grandchildren, mainly them, because they're innocent, right? And why impose on them to carry on the same trend of debt? Be empowered with wealth. At Wealth-Wise, and I wanted them, we're positioning them so they could be wealth creators. So this company is allowing us to do that. So with her, she told us, she said, oh, I don't need that. I have a 696. I said, okay. all right, let it go. All right. And then when she had the incident with the truck, you know, she said, oh, I need the help. I need that. So, you know, everybody's not ready right away, but the information is there and it's no judgment. You know, I started with a 568 credit score and I sat on mine. Okay. She was bold enough to say something. I didn't say nothing. I went stealth. You know, I saw the opportunity and I felt like it was going to be a great opportunity, and I got started. I knew I needed the income because I am a traditional business owner as well, and being a traditional business owner, you don't have that liquid cash right away, and I needed that, you know, and so I saw the value in it, but I sat on it. I allowed fear, pride to get in the way, and you know, I said, and you know, I had medical issues as well. Those medical bills, that was me, okay? But this opportunity came back to me through my husband, and he acted like it was just something like brand new. You know, when he sent me the video, he was like, "You have to watch this video." I said, "Okay." I'm not a video person, by the way. I don't like videos. I don't like to hear them. I don't know what it is. So I sat on the video. And so he came back to me, he said, "Did you watch that video?" I was like, "No." He said, "You gotta watch the video." You know, he was acting like he was giving me his grandmother's dressing cornbread or something. I'm like, okay. And so I listened to it just to make him leave me alone. And I told him, I said, "Dude, like, this is what I was doing like a couple years ago." I said, "You go ahead, I support you. I got too much to do. I don't have time for this." So he said, "I'm gonna do it anyway." I said, "Okay." And so he had something what we call a private business reception. So it's basically a grand opening of your business and sharing what you're doing. And he had it at our home, and I gave him a talking to, by the way. I told him, I said, "Listen, now, you having this, I'm supporting you. I'm gonna be the good little hostess. Don't have nobody come and talk to me, because you're gonna be embarrassed." And he was like, "I'm not." I said, "Okay, all right." So they got started, and I was so impressed because not only did his guests show up, but his fellow business partners showed up to support them. They weren't gonna get anything from that, you know, just to support him. And I was like, they have servants' hearts. And that struck me. And I said, okay. So then I had a mental calculator going on while the presentation was going on, and I started calculating, trying to figure out how can I work this, how can I do this, and God revealed it to me, and I said, okay. And so after everything, I tiptoed over to him, to my husband, and I said, "I'm gonna partner with you." He said, "For real?" I said, "Shh, be quiet." So I got started, and let me tell you, I have not looked back because we had the same financial goals. We wanted to buy our home. We had a home in New York. We moved from New York to here, okay? And we sold that home. And also we knew we had some things that we wanted to do financially, pay off some debt, you know, do some investment properties and things like that. And so I got started. Like I said, I had a 568 credit score. You remember that, right? Well, let me just tell you, I ended up with a 733 credit score. He went from a 542 to an 812. And God blessed us with a $500,000 home of our choice, our dream home, because of this platform. And we also paid off 10 major bills utilizing that debt payoff tool. And our company blessed us with $10,000 to pay towards the debt as well. So that helped a lot, especially with closing, and you know how that goes, right? So this company is, they have great results. Our co-founder, he does not play. Like, he is very, very passionate about helping and solving the problem of debt that this country is drowning in. He is very adamant about that. And we had just had a convention, and he gave us nuggets, like financial wealth nuggets outside of this to help us to continue to grow financially. And that's just something that I absolutely love. And you know, if you see fit that you can utilize the services to help you you know, build up, you know, your wealth or reach a financial goal, or you know a loved one, don't be silent. You know, too many of us, we have these frivolous conversations with our family that don't mean nothing. But when it's time to talk about finances, everybody get, you know, that pride thing. You know what I'm saying? But you hurt it. Don't hurt silently. Share. You know, let's have, like, my mom and I, we was talking about, we're gonna be doing like financial fit days with our family. You know, because we gotta start having those conversations. We open up accounts for our grandchildren. We have 6 grandchildren, and we set up accounts for them, and we're doing some other things for them as well, and they know it. They just don't know how much, what you know, how far they're gonna go. We're not gonna tell them that, you know, until the time is permitted, you know, because we want them to be wise. So I thank you guys for taking the time to listen to the presentation. I hope you all have got a wealth of information. If you have any questions, we'll be here. We'll stick around, answer your questions. If you want to see more results, we have those too. So.